The Texans playing the role of spoiler as they took advantage of some ill-timed decisions by Drake Maye, and they get the 41-21 Houston road win. Joe Mixon, in addition to the 3 touchdowns by C.J. Stroud, Joe Mixon, the former Bengal, 102 yards. He caught a touchdown pass from C.J. Stroud, and he returned. He had been out the last 3 games with a ankle injury, but the better story here is in the losing locker room and the debut of the former North Carolina quarterback taking over there, number 3 pick in the draft. It's all about the new guy, the new shiny object. So let us discuss the question. Keep it simple. It's not that hard. How did you grade the performance of Drake Maye in his first start with the Patriots? So I've got jitters, sauce, and Snow White. And we will combine all of these things together, and we are going to put the biscuit in the basket is what we're going to do. So to lead off, Drake Maye, watching him at the beginning of this game. Now, the first drive was mostly handoff, handoff, handoff. That's pretty much what they did early on. But as the game progressed, Drake Maye had the butterflies in the belly, it would appear, based on my television as I was watching it here. And so I will not be Mr. Negative. I'll be Benny Brightside here. You have to grade rookie quarterbacks on a curve, a rookie curve. And with that as the backdrop, it was not an F performance by Drake Maye. It was not a D performance. It was a C- performance on the MALLER report card. C- for Drake Maye. You've got the good, the bad, and the ugly. The good, 3 touchdown passes. Okay, fine. In fact, New England scored a season high. This is how pathetic the Patsies are this year. 21 points is a season-high offensive total for the New England football team. So that's good. All right, 21 points. Not great, but we'll take it. And Maye, the reports from it's never going to be safe enough for him to play. He didn't get killed. There was no catastrophic injury. He took 8 quarterback hits, according to the official NFL statistics. And so he was fine in that regard. Now, the bad to the bone. The bad, you could tell that Drake Maye was suffering from what I call the first day of school jitters. He had that flop sweat. It didn't look real comfortable. Is that just the way he plays? I don't know. Started the game with drives that resulted in punt, an interception, then punt, punt, punt. It was pitch, punt, and pass is what it was, and a lot of punting. Not ideal. Now, the ugly part of Drake Maye's debut as quarterback in the NFL as a starter was turning the ball over early and often. Drake Maye turned the ball over 3 times, 2 interceptions, and a lost fumble. The Texans, taking advantage of the generosity of the New England football team, scored 17 points off the various miscues by the Patriots in this game. And so this season is lost. The Patriots are terrible, but at least now Drake Maye will start until he gets hurt, and you'll see if he shows any signs of improvement. There's something there. I'm not saying Drake Maye is going to be good. I don't know that, but I know that he's better already than Jacoby Brissett, who needed to be taken out of the starting job. So we'll see whether Drake Maye is any better long-term or not. He's going to get an opportunity to work out the kinks, if you will. All right, now, furthermore, we've got another bad team. I like talking about bad teams. Why? Why not? The Carolina Panthers are horrible. They've been the NFL's worst team the last couple of years, and they're right there, neck and neck, for the title yet again. So why are the Panthers sticking with Andy Dalton? Yet again, another vote of confidence for Andy Dalton. Now, the Carolina football team played the Atlanta football team in an NFC South slobber knocker. And in that NFC South slobber knocker, the team led by Kirk Cousins was in the win column. They won by 18 points, and another shaky performance by Andy Dalton, couple of interceptions. And he did have a couple of touchdown passes, but Carolina in the game for a half, and then as the game progressed, they were no longer in the game. So why are the Panthers going to go back to Andy Dalton? And the answer here is rather simple. There are no other options, right? There are no other options. Andy Dalton is both a washed-up veteran who is wobbly and the top scenario for the Carolina football team in a non-ideal scenario, right? Now, assuming the coach, Dave Canales, is keeping it on the up and up on the real here, it is no vote of confidence, right? It's not a vote of confidence. Bryce Young is still hopeless. He's lost in the sauce at this particular point, right? Dazed and confused. And if Bryce Young had shown any upside in practice, like he had learned anything from watching Andy Dalton, then the move would be to go back to Bryce Young. Any sign of improvement. But the fact that Dave Canales, and this guy's lied before. He lied when they benched Bryce Young, so who knows? Maybe they'll announce this week that Bryce Young will be back. But at this moment, we do the show today, and in this moment, today's show, what we go by is the words, parsing the words of the coach, Dave Canales, and he said that he's going to stick with Andy Dalton, which is a vote of no confidence to Bryce Young, that there's no improvement, that it's been a few weeks, and he still blows. And that's just the reality. All right, now, last thing. We now head to London. Can you fire your coach while still in London? Is that about to become a thing? Well, I bring that up because in the very early game, the barnstorming Jaguars played the Chicago Bears, and they were mauled by the Bears. A no-show second half. 35-16. Chicago kicking the crap out of the NFL's favorite team in the UK there. So which led, then following the game, to Doug Pederson saying that a culture change is needed. A culture change is needed. He said, quote, nobody's going to feel sorry for us. We've got to change. I say we, it's all of us. He then said, coaches, players, everybody, we've got to change right now the culture. Otherwise, Pederson, quote, continued, it just gets out of control. We're on a slippery slope, Doug Pederson said, or right on the cusp of that slope. At some point, we've got to say enough is enough, and you've got to have enough pride to figure out a way, close quote. All right, so Doug Pederson, big money quote there. NFL head coach says, franchise he coaches needs a culture change. What does that signal to you? What does that signal to you? So I'll go first. So this is a Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs classic is what this is. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? Or should I say, who's the shakiest of them all? Ding, 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 ding. Yes. Yes, Doug Pederson is putting himself on blast. And the way I read the room here, Doug Pederson is daring Shad Khan, the con man owner of the Jacksonville football team. He is daring the owner to fire him. Now, Jacksonville plays another game this upcoming weekend against the Patriots in London, so they're not leaving London. They're still there. And the coach talking about a culture change, well, that's the coach. You don't get rid of the players, right? The old argument, you get rid of the coach. So, okay. So, fine. The Jags are guilty of the M&Ms. Now, what does that mean, the M&Ms? This is miserable misconduct or misbehavior and misconduct. Either way, it's not good. It's a hot mess here. And Doug Pederson is admitting that he's not good. He's bad at his job, which is rather obvious. The record says that you are what your record says you are. But at this point, it's a dog pile. Because not only is Doug Pederson saying the culture has to change, someone named Andrew Sisko, we have no idea who that is. We're told he's a safety for the Jacksonville football team. He told a local TV station in Jacksonville that defensive players quit in the second half against the Bears. So now you have a player on the roster who was playing in the game saying the team is not playing for Doug Pederson. But wait, there's more. Trevor Lawrence, another ridiculous contract extension handed out in the NFL. Trevor Lawrence, the overrated quarterback, Trevor Lawrence, says the Jaguars are too fragile. So the coach says the culture's bad. The defensive player says the team quit. and the quarterback says the team's fragile. But other than that, everything's great in Jacksonville/London. It's raining molten hot lava at this particular point around the Jags. Where have you gone, Blake Bortles? Where have you gone?